Midday News. This news is coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Coming up in this afternoon's bulletin. Former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to appear before a U.S. court today over alleged immigration violations. And in business, IMF's resident representative in Ghana, Dr. Adrian Alta, has revealed that the extension of Ghana's program to August 2026 was purely technical. And on the international front, Burkina Faso's former transitional president and the alleged mastermind behind a number of coup plots have been arrested in Togo. We'll bring you details of these stories shortly. With us, you can watch this news live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bena TV. Now let's delve into the stories. A fire has broken out behind the VVIP station at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Details about the cause of the fire, the extent of damage, and whether there are any injuries remain unclear. At this time, emergency service have been alerted and are reportedly on the scene. Residents and motorists in the area are asked to exercise caution and avoid the vicinity until the situation is brought under control. We will update you in subsequent news bulletin. Now, moving on, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to appear before a U.S. court on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, over alleged immigration violations. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has indicated that Mr. Ofori-Atta overstayed his visa and has currently lost his status to stay in the U.S. A determination on a possible extradition to Ghana may follow the court's proceedings.
However, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Aine, has rejected claims that the case is a routine visa overstay, insisting that Mr. Ofori-Atta's visa was formally revoked by U.S. authorities. According to the Attorney General, Ghana's extradition request is connected to investigations being conducted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor in relation to the SML matter. Meanwhile, former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Sedinate Makolo Ationu, is also expected to appear before a U.S. court on January 21, 2026, for proceedings to determine her possible extradition to Ghana.
Meanwhile, members of pressure group Arise Ghana on Tuesday, January 20th, staged a picket at the United States Embassy in Accra, demanding the return of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana to face justice. The protesters, who gathered outside the embassy premises, called on U.S. authorities to cooperate with Ghanaian institutions to ensure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return, insisting that accountability must be enforced without exception.
According to the group, the demonstration was aimed at pressing home their demand that the former finance minister return to Ghana to face justice, arguing that no public official should be allowed to evade accountability. The picketers carried placards bearing inscriptions such as "Let Ofori Atta face justice," "Ken's leadership killed Ghanaians," and "Ken is needed in Ghana." Some protesters also wore printed t-shirts with the inscription "Bring Ken." Speaking to the media, a member of the group and PNC stalwarts Bernard Mona said the protest will continue until U.S. authorities take steps to ensure Mr. Ofori Atta returns to Ghana. Mr. Mona said the group initially planned an indefinite protest but reached an agreement with the police. So today is the beginning. We will stay here from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and we will come back tomorrow as well.
Away from that, the police have arrested 3 additional suspects believed to be behind the Adabraka gold robbery following months of sustained surveillance and intelligence-led operations. The arrests were carried out on Monday, January 19, 2026 in Ashaiman.
The suspects have been identified as Nashiru Abubakari, also known as Soldier, Fatah Mohammed, popularly called Motorway, and a third suspect known as 50 Cent. The arrest brings the total number of suspects apprehended in connection with the robbery to 7 following the earlier arrest of 4 other key suspects. Police say investigations are ongoing to track down and apprehend other accomplices believed to be linked to the robbery. Efforts are also underway to recover exhibits connected to the crime. The suspects are currently in police custody and are expected to be processed for court in accordance with the law.
Minister of Transport Joseph Nikpe Buhari has announced that an investigation has been launched into reports surrounding the auctioning of over 300 Metro Mass Transit buses under the previous administration. The Deputy Managing Director of Metro Mass Transit, Harun Apa-Riedu, revealed that the buses were auctioned in a period leading up to the 2024 general elections, with some reportedly sold for as little as 2,500 Ghana cedis. Speaking to journalists in Accra on Monday, January 19, the Transport Minister said a probe is currently underway to determine whether the auction process was conducted in a transparent and merit-based manner. The minister also noted that the current priority is to address the immediate transport challenges facing commuters.
Telling our transport union like the STC and Metro Mass at all years, whatever that you are doing, you must ensure that you renew your fleet. It will no more be that you will leave them to get to some stage, you auction them, and that is it. We are looking at retooling them. When we do that, it is now going to be a duty that at all times they will continuously replace whatever they are using on a yearly basis, at least to start. But whether I am concerned or not is one of the issues that when we came in, we said things happen and those agencies could not even stand to go to the market to do any business. What we did was to sanitize the system. Most of them had difficulties in paying salaries. Most of them, their revenue was not that encouraging, so nobody wanted to do business with them. What we sought to do was to ensure that we sanitize their books, we make their revenue collection on a daily basis improve, and that is what we have done over the years. They now have a good turnover, they make good revenue, and everybody now wants to sit at the table with them to see what we will do. As for the auctions, this was what we had, but the boards are going through to see whether or not they were of correct merit for that amount. It is not something that I can just say that it was whether over or it was not unduly priced, but it was auctions that they did. And if we need to caution or to go into it, I've instructed all the management and boards to have a second look at it, and then we'll see what happens next.
On this note, we go for a quick 10. We'll be back with some more. Do stay.
Again, it's bigger and better. Brace yourselves for the third edition of the biggest pre-Ramadan fair in town. It's the Baina Trade Connect 2026. 2 days of endless sales and unmatched vibes. Mark your calendars on the 14th and 15th February 2026 at Zurak Park, Libya Cortez, Medina from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Come trade, come connect, come shop and have fun. To book a stand, contact 053-948-7757. Baina Trade Connect 2026. See you there.
You're welcome back. If you just tune in, you're watching Baina Midday News on Baina TV. Now let's move on to some business story. The International Monetary Fund resident representative in Ghana, Dr. Adrian Alta, has revealed that the extension of Ghana's program to August 2026 was purely technical. According to the resident representative, the extension was needed to allow more time to complete the final review of the program, including an assessment of data for the end of 2025 and the end of the first quarter of 2026.
The resident representative also rejected reports that an extension was due to Ghana missing some critical indicative targets under the program and therefore needing more time to carry out corrective measures. He also dismissed suggestions that the IMF unilaterally pushed for the extension, maintaining that this was something that was agreed between Ghana and the IMF and was approved by the IMF board as part of the fifth program review approval. The IMF, in its staff report, announced that Ghana's extended credit facility program will be extended by 3 months from May to August in 2026. The fund explained that the extension is needed to allow for the implementation of reforms underpinning the sixth and final review of the program. The IMF is also proposing modifications to Ghana's programs, including changes to indicative targets and the monetary policy consultation clause. The fund explained that at the end of March 2026, the primary balance and non-oil revenue indicative targets will be modified to accommodate macroeconomic development while maintaining the fiscal effort relative to GDP.
Now, in some news beyond our borders, Burkina Faso's former transitional president and the alleged mastermind behind a number of coup plots have been arrested in Togo and expelled, local sources say. Paul-Henri Damimba ousted Burkinabe President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore in a 2022 coup, but 8 months later, Damiba was himself overthrown by the military leader Ibrahim Traore, who is still in power.
Reports say Damiba was arrested in Lomé last week and tried for the attempted destabilization of Burkina Faso. He was then taken to the airport, although his destination hasn't been confirmed. Since going into exile in Togo, Damiba has been accused of numerous coup and assassination plots. Ouagadougou says authorities foiled an attempted assassination of Traore planned for 3rd January. A number of alleged conspirators have appeared on state TV claiming to have acted on orders from Damiba. Security officials say Damiba had planned a number of targeted assassinations of civilian and military figures, starting with Traore.
Moving on to sports, the National Sports Authority has withdrawn its recognition of the Ghana Swimming Association and its Executive Council, effectively ending their authority to oversee aquatic sports in Ghana as of January 7, 2026. In a statement issued on Monday, January 19, 2026, the NSA explained that the decision was made in response to the GSA's failure to submit audited accounts, comply with its own constitution, and provide satisfactory responses to issues raised by the authority. Members of the Executive Council are also barred from representing Ghana as any aquatic-related functions, whether national or international. The NSA clarified, however, that the decision does not constitute a total ban on swimming in the country. The NSA reaffirmed its commitment to promoting and developing aquatic sports in Ghana while enforcing accountability, transparency, and good governance. And that's all time will permit us. Log on to our website bainamultimedia.com for more news. Many thanks for watching. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Have a good afternoon.